Welcome back to the Therapy Lounge. I'm your host, Dr. J, the Soca Prince, and they say soca is the soundtrack to our happiest moments. But behind every performance, every event, and every unforgettable carnival memory are people with stories that deserve to be heard. The Therapy Lounge is where we step away from the stage, slow things down, and have conversations that help us understand the people behind the culture. Now, today's guest, he may not be singing the songs, but if you've ever been to a fete or any carnival event, chances are you've heard the voice. As one of the Caribbean's most recognizable MCs and hosts, he spent years bringing crowds to life, setting the energy and just helping create those moments that you remember long after the fete. He's one of the biggest names in soca, but what does it take to become the person responsible for lifting thousands of people? Today, we're going to talk about purpose, pressure, leadership, authenticity, and the person behind the microphone. So welcome to the Therapy Lounge, Patrick, the Hypeman.
Wow.
How you feeling?
Wait.
How you feeling?
Talk about introvert. I feel like on Fox News. I'll be honest, the only other person besides you who could have done a better intro would have been Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That is intro for money. Thank you, G. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
welcome,
boy.
Man. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And
How
you
you
know
feeling?
I am great. I'm exhausted beyond belief, and we can touch on that later. Because people do not see the BTS, behind the scenes, of how we get to where we get to and how we reach this stage. But you know what's funny, G? I listened to that intro. I know what's going through my mind.
What's that?
How life is such an interesting cycle of cycles.
Okay.
Meaning that I'm sitting next to you, bro, right? And hear how crazy our cycle is.
Okay.
We ain't talking nobody age because I ain't nobody business. Nobody need to know how old you is.
Right.
And nobody need to know how old I is. Ain't none of your business. But how crazy this is, bro.
Okay.
And that Uber coming across here, I think I was going on Adelaide or one of those streets, right? And I was like, yo, I'm going to do my first podcast with Dr. J. But imagine this. I'm passing this building and a memory flashes back. And how crazy this memory is, J. What was the name of the club with the escalator?
Oh,
J?
Lucid or Circa?
Lucid.
Yeah, Lucid, yeah.
You hear what I just said there? I'm passing the building where Lucid used to be when I was in university, where it was the first time I ever saw you perform as a DJ. And full circle, how many years later, I'm now being interviewed by you, bro.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that is?
Yeah, bro.
It's insane. So I'm very happy to be here.
I'm proud that you're here, King.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
It's because you're somebody I've admired for a long time.
I appreciate you.
And I know you've always, given flowers back and forth. Like
Yeah, for sure.
the love is apparent. And I think for me, when it comes to you, there's a certain talent you have, because when it comes to being an MC, some people think it's very simple. It's like you make two arguments and they don't understand that sometimes you're in spaces where people need that positivity.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where people are like, why is this guy still talking? I just want to hear, right? And you have to balance that.
A juggling act.
It's a juggling act. So how did you know that this was a gift you have, though?
To be honest, I didn't know it was a gift at all. Like my they say either a villain, anti-hero, hero has an origin story, right? And mine was way back when, my original DJ, Ryan Panker, aka Mr. Panks of Euphoric, decided to take a chance on a guy who he knew from high school. And if you ask Panker why he even gave me a chance, and this is giving me a chance without any experience of speaking publicly. Never spoke publicly. But Ryan's basis, if you ask him, is funny. His basis on choosing me amongst any other more capable candidates for the job was that, bro, I just like your vibe, how you party. And what he meant was, I used to be home spring break week every year. Not Christmas, not summer. I got that one reading a week to go home. And when I was home that week, Jay, I in 51 degrees back home in Cipriani Boulevard, where Panka and my other brother, Nick Pena, were part of a DJ group called Ecstasy. And they were running the scene back then. So when I come home for that 1 week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's 5 days in the club. And every day you swear partying like it's the last day on earth. Because to me, it was the only 7 days out of 365 that I was able to come home and be home with my family, and my friends. So it was a real important week. So when I came to party, I was like, yeah, I come in to release everything possible.
Yeah.
I was the happiest man in the club for sure, every night. And he basically, hear what? If you could do that as a patron, if we could fine tune you and somehow figure out how to put that energy behind a microphone, then we could have something. And this is when the times of Hollywood, Sachi was running the thing, right? And Hollywood, Sachi's one of the biggest names in my time. He was definitely a competitor and a mentor at the same time, right? And yeah, Panka took a chance on me and I had zero experience. So 2 weeks before showtime, we in the house, in the back of his house in the studio, trying to figure out what does my voice sound like, bro. It was horrible, right? So flash forward for a full year, nobody liked me and nobody liked my voice. Big up to Julius Caesar, big up to Dwayne Norberger of Tribe. And then, I see that because at first, like, who is this guy?
Right.
Why does he sound this way? Why does he look this way? We don't know you. We want back Nick Pena. So I'm now trying to walk in the shadows of this entity, Nick Pena, right? And a school friend and good friend of mine. And I'm like, yo, I can't fill this man's shoes.
Right.
So I realized, like, all right, I didn't grow up in the, listening. I grew up listening to radio, yes, but I did not grow up dreaming to be a mic man. And the funny story is, I wanted to be a DJ. Just like,
Really?
Because simply, I feel like the DJ has such power, so much power to affect people's emotions. I wanted to be the person that was drawing your experience through music. When you hear that song coming in slightly, right? And back in those days, it would have been reggae for me, right? When you hear that song coming in on that rhythm, and it's a perfect blend, a perfect mix, and you're like, yeah, boy, that song real good, boy. I wanted to be that person. But the only way I was able to get into the industry is when Nick Pena and Panka split, and the available spot was an MC. So I'm like, shoot, I need to get into this. But if the only way I can do this is by being his mic man and not his protege student,
Right.
let me try to be a mic man. And bro, for a year, nobody liked my voice. Nobody liked it because like, yo, who is he?
Right. It's so different compared
and it's so raw at this point because I have no examples really to pull from because, for those who are MCs, the talent of being an excellent arguer, someone who could talk and argue a tune. I didn't have that. So I had to figure out at that point, what is my unique selling point? You know what I mean? And I leaned on what Ryan decided to show me that day. It's like, yo, if you could affect people the way you party, if you could do that on the microphone, then we could do something. And that's exactly what I did. So I remember, somebody told me, Patrick, it was you back in 51 was the first MC to come outside the DJ booth and be inside the crowd because I didn't know how to talk to people behind a screen in a booth. It was weird for me not to have human connection and interaction. So I used to be outside the club, outside the booth, running around crazy, doing shippiness, and that is when I figured, I was like, yo, this could be something. I don't have to be the DJ. I can affect people's feelings and emotions during a party with music in a different way. And
so for you though, do you have like a defining moment when it clicked and you knew?
That was my all moment there. And I said, and I paused. It's like you just get these moments like, yo, back to basics. That was my all moment. Yes, that's how I say all there, right?
Yeah.
Flash to my first carnival in Tribe. And
him
that was our boy. That was our boy, Jay.
Yeah, 100%.
That was our boy, man. And I had to stop for a second and really consider how serious this pivotal point for me was now. Coming into the game, competitive industry, first carnival, zero understanding of the rules and regulations and how to speak to thousands of people who I can't touch.
Right.
So I'm now moving from the booth and the club in a contained environment to now my voice being projected on a 40-foot truck to thousands of people down Mokrapa Road who I can't even see their faces, but have to affect the experience. And timid, big man, I was 30. I started late. 30 years old. sitting on the truck. Big up to Rennie, Uncle Rennie and his sound company, right? He was his sound company.
Okay.
And Cardo, Back to Basics, was scheduled to be our backup DJ for Euphoric. And he could tell. He could tell right away, Jay, I was nervous.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know who this kid is. I don't know this youth. But I could tell he trembling.
Right.
I don't know what to do. So this man said, yo, Renee, get my second mic. He said, you come. And literally like a big brother. Cardo took me to the back of the truck. We climbed the back of the truck and he sat me down. He said, all right. And I sat on that truck at the back for almost 8 hours.
Wow.
Straight into the evening. And I'll never forget the patience he had to show a young brother in the industry coming up what he had learned from his own journey. You know how big that is for me to know that Back to Basics plays such a big role in my origin story, bro.
Yeah.
Always such a problem, and I'm always giving flowers for that. I say, bro, without you, I would have never understand how to really deal with carnival on the road. It's a different monster.
thing.
You know that,
It's
Jay.
it's
a different
not like a
monster.
Yeah, 100%.
It's different from migrating for a party.
Yeah, for
Everything's
sure.
contained in an area. But this is so many things happening. And you now have to figure out, without being able to see, is that person 500 meters this way having a good time? Is that person having a good time? I have to try to get all of them to have a good time. And bro, the night ended going down past Mukrap Road, going down to the park, where Bungie and Fian was behind each other because, of course, they had a good relationship with Cardo. And because I was next to Cardo, I was part of it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my first carnival, Bungie Garden and Fian Lions is pumping behind the truck with Back to Basics. So that's when I knew, I was like, yo, this is something. I went to U of T. I made a joke yesterday on the boat. So I was like, yo, I from the streets here, though. I from the streets. I was, I come from Oshawa, Beaumontville, Bathurst and Steeles, Young and College, Kensington Market.
Crazy.
From these streets. Toronto is my second home in my heart. You know what I mean? This is where I became a young man into a young man here, and I studied commerce and finance at U of T. And like every good creative, what did you do with that degree? Right. Well, I didn't even finish. I went back home and it just turned into something else, But yeah.
The Cardo thing, because it's like he was such a visionary, man.
For and the culture.
Yes.
Icon, bro.
Yeah.
Big respect to this man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he took a chance on me as well with Tribe, and he was just, and he's so giving of his space.
Yep.
Because as you said, it's such a competitive industry.
Correct. He didn't have to do what he did. I didn't ask him to.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored he chose me to do that with. You know what I mean? So, but shit, I was telling you before, G, right? I'm extremely tired. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares about that. That's fine. Today is Wednesday. As of Tuesday, yesterday, I was on a flight every day since Saturday. And some days it was 2 flights just to be here. You know what I mean? And I laugh at myself, like, yo, but you asked for this.
Right.
You asked for this. We are so lucky, Jay, to have the life that we have, that we choose to have. This traveling the world, I get to see different cities every single weekend. And it's all because of soca. And it's not because of carnival. It's not because of music. It is because of soca. And that moment with Cardo, that people see me on the truck for carnival, entertaining thousands of people, was the jumping board for my career. So big up to Dean Akin, Dwayne, the Nobrega, Jared, the whole family, Rihanna, the Tribe family for giving me a chance and putting that support behind me, because that propelled my future career years into the future.
And then for you, there was the association under Euphoric.
Yeah, he had all the keys. I mean,
and then you guys had the split and you just started to do Patrick the Hypeman.
Yeah.
Is it difficult now? Because when you are accustomed working with one DJ and one sound and a style that he may have, and now you are like the hired hitman to just hype up and you got to work with whoever DJ it is. How do you manage that of, finding that sound and knowing, is this guy going to mix on bar? Is he going to bring this in?
But you of all people, as an international man, know that's a real ticklish situation, right? Because you could be a great DJ in your case, but have a mic man that does not gel with your style, right? And individually, you guys are powerhouses, but put them together as like oil and water, right? So let me just say this. I have to say this, Jay, just for historical fact, right? When Euphoric and I split, I want Euphoric to hear this too, because I said I'll always say it. Yeah, I wanted to, you know that scene from 300 when the man get kicked in his chest and went into the well? Yeah. I wanted to kick Ryan Panker down a well. Right. I don't need to get to the details, but I have to see it. Only reason as reference, right? Imagine having a relationship, a business relationship with somebody where you get so enraged that you would want to hurt them physically, right? Because you're so angry. And the success story or the love story of music, right, is being able to come back full circle as two different persons who have now earned a deeper respect for each other. Right. And I just say to say, no matter what happens, you never know what can happen in life. And Ryan Panker, thank you for taking that chance on me. Thank you for putting me in the position where I had to outgrow Euphoric. You know what I mean? And that, by leaving Euphoric was the only way I could have become this version of the Hypeman. Right. Because it's easy to have a mic man and a DJ duo, but as two separate entities, you'll have different things happening in your life.
Very true.
Some might have a family, some might not have a family. You know what I mean? And different goals. At that point, when we split, Ryan Panker had been working in the industry almost 20 years. I was still, you know what I mean, 5-6 years in. I had plenty more to do than I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So that split gave me the opportunity. So coming back full circle, I remember how it happened. Our first performance back as separated 3 years, right? Punchy Punch had a event, and I had a flight at 7 a.m. So something happened in the schedule, and they asked to switch. And Mark Dean is like, let me ask you something. I say, you say, yeah, what? He say, well, because of your flight and because of your schedule, the only way we can make this work is if you and Panker play together. I say, I say, you're serious? I say, you don't pay for that to do it. I laughed. It's all right. And this was the first time after 3 years me and Panker playing together. And I will never forget that night because that is when we saw each other again for the first time, right? Not just passing by, but also in that arena, being on the same stage, same creative space. And I would never forget the feelings of, I see you now, bro. You're no longer that MC you used to be when I was with you. And I saw him, I said, yeah, bro. You're no longer that DJ who used to play for me back in the day. And I went on that flight, and before that flight pushed off in the morning, Ryan had messaged me and I said, yo, bro, that was amazing.
Wicked. Yeah.
And to be able to move from that point of wanting to kick him down the well to be like, yo, thank you for respecting my growth. Thank you for seeing what I was trying to do. And I'm happy that we left because now we've grown into these new men who can now do this together going forward. Yeah. And that was a beautiful moment for me. Yeah. Ryan Panker will always be my first choice of DJ. I don't care what nobody say. Ryan Panker is one of the cleanest blenders in my generation, and I stand by that. So now going back to your point now, having that synergy with Panker and having to play with different people, it was difficult at first. It's like coming from the school of Dr. J and then going and play for Dr. John. I'm like, yo, but this is not my style.
Right.
At first, ego is a hell of a thing, Jay. When I separated, I had to prove to the world I could stand on my own. So my ego was in trying to build to be tough. So when I showed up at different places to mic with different DJs, I didn't realize I had an ego like, yo, this is how I had to go. This is how they set it to be because, you know, I'm the hype man. And I realized, yo, that doesn't work. That's like coming into town with the new sheriff blasting the gun and say, yeah, you know, I know what's right for the city. And it's like, nah. So after experience and working with different DJs, I realized I am the one who has the ability to adjust. I don't need a DJ to adjust to me. That was wrong. It set me back to send me forward. Who's more important, the DJ or the MC? Let's hold that in our box. We're not trying to get controversy here, right? The party will always continue with the DJ. They can have no mic man, right? I had to accept my ego. My ego couldn't hear me say, oh, the mic man not as important. The DJ and the music is the most important thing. And as an MC, I'm there to accentuate the process. I'm to enhance it, not to detract from it. Right? So I'm not saying, well, yes, the DJs are more important, but you can have an event with just a DJ playing music. Let's be real, fellas. You know what I mean? And I learned to be able to find the balance. Well, okay, let's guide the set this way. if I want to, or hey, if that's what you want to go, I will follow you.
Right.
You lead. This is your hometown. This is your people. Tell me where you want to go. Let's have a conversation. So I've learned to be able to adjust to different environments with different tier DJs, based on the experience.
Yeah, because, and also there's so many different styles in the different cities you go in.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah.
Right?
And yeah, for
Because
sure.
New York doesn't play like a London, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you go to up the islands, it's way different in each spot, right? So for you to be able to be that voice in each space and for the crowd to respect you enough to pay attention and follow your lead as well, that's a big thing, man.
I appreciate it, man. I do.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's a big thing. So I wasn't sure if we were allowed to touch into the euphoric thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is why I kind of was, you know what I mean? I wasn't sure. I had to respect people's space.
Flowers one time, bro.
All right. So who was at fault then? It was you?
Nah, it was euphoric for sure.
Okay.
Listen, I don't know, bro. Listen. And if you want to get the grime, let me get the grime.
Let me get the grime.
Okay.
Talk the thing.
Right. So, Ryan Panker, Nick Pena, business partners, ecstasy, many years, 15 years. They split. Ryan Panker became his own entity, his own man.
Right.
He brought me in under his wing. Ryan literally brought me in under his wing. And
he had no experience.
Zero experience.
Right,
he took a chance on my brand. And there were other men, trust me, other guys, but I can't remember the names at the moment, but there were other more capable MCs.
Okay.
So after a year, after 2 years, so actually the first year was rough. Nobody liked me. So by second year, I'm now getting my foot in, now finding my voice and finding my spot, my niche. I said, all right, cool. So I took, at that point, my second year, Ryan and I started to fly. So he took us on our first international gig, which is Antigua, which is his link. Ryan had all the keys for all the links, Tribe, all these, 51 Degrees, everything. And he brought me into these situations. And by the third, fourth year, we're flying the world. Icebox, big up Stuart Rosales, was the first New York brand to bring us, you know what I mean? And we were flying the world. And at one point, I was like, yo, okay, I understand I had no experience, 3 years ago. I understand that you're the boss. You have the keys to the city. I'm benefiting from your years of hard work. So I respect that. But guess what? At this point, 3-4 years after ground zero, you as an entity have now traveled more places in the world than you've traveled with all your previous MCs.
Right.
So...
Right. You had to give...
The proof is in the pudding.
Right.
And at that point, I was like, little bro, I am not saying that I am more valuable than you are. And I'm just asking for 50% of what we make. And he couldn't give it to me.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, I really don't want us to have to split, based on a couple of percentages. But I just think fair is fair. You know what I mean? Like, what we've accomplished together is unmatched based on what you've done in the past with your other talented DJs. And I just want what is fair. And Ryan couldn't do it. And I needed him to do that. I needed him because I didn't know how to leave the nest to go explore the world. Because being an MC is not just talking in a party. You're talking about different roles as an ambassador. You're talking about television. And all those things are independent activities separate from a DJ.
Yeah.
So there was a whole world for me to explore outside being Euphoric's mic man, hype man, that I need to find. And if Ryan actually gave me the 50 at that point, I wouldn't have become this version of the hype man who had to fight for certain things. And I had to fight. When I left Euphoric, I had to fight, G. You understand? It's a highly competitive industry. You know what I mean? And I still get fight on today, and that's okay because I know where I come from.
Yeah.
And I mean, my intro says it and all, right? My qualifications. Yeah. And I am just happy to do what I do, G. I am happy to be part of this history that we will have. You know what I mean? So...
And especially when you look at it where in those days, when you book a DJ unit, they're coming with an MC.
Yeah.
So for you to leave that nest and assume that somebody's going to fly in and MC on his own, that's scary.
And you know what? What I love about these podcasts is that it gives you the opportunity to say thank you to different people in your journey, right? Big up to Mateen out of Bus Pepper because he was your first call. He's like, hey, I see you. I literally landed from Jamaica on a Wednesday and I got to the airport. This man called me. London is a far flight from Trinidad to Heathrow, right? He said, oh, well, since you're solo now, let's do this. Wow. And that was my first flight to London that year. He said, yo, let's book it one time. And yeah, it was a birth of being able to travel and perform by myself. You know, so as I said, everything happened for its one reason and time. And, you know,
it's crazy,
right?
Because you don't think, because I know even for myself, like if somebody's booking me, it's okay, it's you and E-Man or you and Dez or whatever, right? But now people will be flying, like in 2026. Now you're seeing people flying in MCs, right? So, but that wasn't a thing.
No, it was not
back then. So it must have been scary for you, bro. To like,
bro, it was. But as I said, right, while I was not necessarily traveling internationally every weekend back in those days, I was not able to explore television, you know, and those different projects, you know, and even read
which
radio.
Takes your brand to different spaces.
Correct.
And now,
you know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of brands I'm very grateful. I'm thankful for my success, for sure.
So for you now, you go through this disappointment. Like, this is somebody that you considered your brother.
Yeah.
He basically says, I'm still looking at you as this guy who...
Oh, wait, I forgot the killer blow.
Oh, okay.
That was cool. What the killer blow was, Jay, is that Ryan went and registered the name Euphoric behind my back.
Oh, okay.
That was the blow. That's to me, not the juice, the drama, but just to show that was the cutting edge for me. No? And here's why. Because the name Euphoric came from my girlfriend at the time. Make up to Rihanna and Pemberton. She gave us the name. Right. And he was so threatened at the time based on his experiences with his other business partner. You know, what he had gone throughout his, not just his business partner, but business, that he wanted to protect what he felt was his. What Euphoric was never his to take. And that's what hurt me, you know. It like genuinely hurt me. Like, I was never trying to take what was yours, but you literally took what was ours away from me. You know what I mean? I couldn't comprehend that for a long time.
No communication, no
communication. I mean, Ryan, as big men, you know, we understand, it was a mistake. You know, in the heat of the moment, we younger versions of ourselves just trying to, you know, be successful, you know, and, you know, working in a cutthroat industry too. Sometimes you can even mistake your true brethren for villains and vice versa, you know, you know, so.
Yeah. So, again, people don't see this side of things, right? And you're the guy who always has to get everybody hype in the party. You're the one that gets everybody happy and feeling that vibe. So where do you go to get your cup filled? Because, you know, they always say you can't pour from an empty cup. So for you yourself, how do you fill your cup?
Honestly, when people appreciate and are able to access me in a space where they can say thank you or to express how they feel, you know? We did a boat ride yesterday, big up to High Image Barry and the T, right? Had an amazing set with my brother Juster. And I swear to you, I walking through the boat and be like, yo, you go back and play? I said, excuse you? I done. It's time for me to enjoy myself. 5 persons came and stopped me and said, are you going back and play? Wow. Not to say that the DJ was playing bad, is that they were enjoying what me and Juster were doing at that point in time, that they wanted more. And it's like those moments like, yeah, boy, I don't know what you're doing today. I don't know what you went through today. I don't know what your week is like. I don't know what you're suffering from. But if in this moment, I, as a person, can affect the way you feel in such a positive way that you feel the need to cross personal barriers or boundaries. Like, you know, I don't want to go and talk to somebody, but you're like, yo, you made me feel such a good way. I need you to know that you made me feel this way. And thank you. Those moments, Jay, that's
priceless,
it.
Bro.
That is it. It may sound like, you know, small drops because it's 1 or 2 persons, but understand when I get those, it's like filling half a bucket. Because it's like, yeah, thank you for taking the time. You didn't have to. It's been nice when people repost you on the stories of you performing great and do a little write-up. But when they come to you and say, listen, it's loud, but I just need you to hear this.
Right.
You made my day. I had a horrible day today, and you just made me feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I feel like those are the moments that really resonate when somebody has taken their time out to come to you and say, this is what you made me feel in that moment. You know?
All right, let me reverse it to you. All right. This year, 2026, Soca Brainwash. You were on that other stage.
Yeah,
with
Soca
me.
Baby. Yeah.
Tell me how that felt, Jay.
Amazing, bro.
Right?
Yeah,
Why?
incredible.
You look, my pause raised in here.
Yeah.
We had such a beautiful set, and not just because I say so or you say so, bro. My paws are raised because I'm like, bro, you saw the songs you were playing, and people were like, "Are you serious, Jay?
Yeah.
Are you really playing these songs?" And then we did that whole interaction. If you know the song, come tap the stage.
Right.
We took us. We borrowed a piece of the big stage patrons, and we took them in and said, "Hey, this is ours for now, for the next hour, right?
Yeah.
You can go back there later.
It's
But
true.
we're going to give you something, and you curtail the experience to be very specific to that time and to that crowd." And gee, that was a beautiful feeling. People came up after and said, "Yo, bro, we haven't heard this before for the day."
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why we do it. And that's why we made the effort to like not just come and play music or BPM match, but
Right.
to create an emotional experience through the music,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and big up Private Ryan for giving us that
Oh,
opportunity.
yeah, for sure, but right. Privado, big up.
Yeah, man, because a lot of people, you know, in that space for Carnival, it's about chasing the big forwards,
Yeah.
right?
We
And
understand that.
We understand that. And there's a time and place for that.
Correct.
Right? Because there's going to be patrons, because I've had that happen too, where you're going in a zone trying to play something a little different, and somebody's like, "Hey, look at the time. I want to hear encore. I want to hear
I have to leave in 5 minutes, so I need to hear this song
this
before
right now." Yes, right now. It don't matter what the BPM is.
Right,
I need to
yeah.
mix this song in now, right? And for him to allow us to do something in that space
Yeah.
on Carnival Saturday and give people something a little different,
Yeah.
right? And it resonated, as you said.
did,
So many
it did.
people came back and was like, "Yo, I love this, I love that, and I didn't get to hear this in so long, and you take me back to this." And
Yeah.
I remember my parents used to play that song, and we used to clean the house to
Yep.
it, and so on. So yeah, it was special, man. It was special, and I think as much as I love playing the hits of the current year, when
Yeah.
you're able to go
Bro.
back.
And what's that? Jay was so fast. Patrick, I don't think even you know this. I said, bro. I was like, "Jay, come, play it." I was like, "Bro, come to man. I remember seeing Bandit. My Bandit was inside the
Yes.
stage.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as I say, when you know, and anybody who's a business owner, a brand owner, whatever product or service you sell, when you see people enjoy, bro, is the best feeling,
It's the
especially
best,
your colleagues. I think that's one of the best feelings. Seeing Bandit backstage,
Yeah.
watchers like, "Yeah, all right, Jay.
Yeah.
I see you, Jay." And you know, it is love. It's always love. You know what I mean?
Because I say it's competitive, but it's love.
It is. And that's the
You
space
know?
I like to operate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No matter what kind of job or occupation you have, it's always going to be the fake friends, the fake colleagues, the cliques and stuff like that. And I try my best, you know, to set an example by existing in a space like, I don't care if you like me, though. I don't care if you like me. You know, I pay my bills.
Right.
Right? What I want to do is to make people happy, Jay. That's all I want, Jay. It's all the backbiting and the pretending. All I can keep that's not what I want. I want to be existing in a space knowing that, hey, quick flashback there, I'll tell you, come on, just now, right?
Okay.
Is working with people who care.
Right.
Not to care about me. Here what I say, right? Flashback to whatever year it was. And once again, Soca Brainwash, right? Rain was falling. Like torrential downpour. Barry, Saeed there, Shal, back to basics. And all of us came together to block those CD players from rain. Saeed had to run upstairs by Cado to get a USB to put music on it. And all this is happening. And it only happened because we came together as a unit. And in those experiences, I'm like, yeah, this is the type of people I want to work with who are going to see something failing or something happening. And not because it's not my duty or my set, I go leave it be. No, that's fine. But that's not how I want to operate. I want to know if something happening, we all running together to out this fire together. But it don't always happen, and that's okay.
No,
that's all right. You know, set the example. And in those moments, you know, big up to Barry. Barry is captain assist.
He is,
Listen, it's have no situation going wrong. If Barry cannot help, he's not going to jump and try to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. And that's the space I want to be people. I don't want, yes, we can be competitive, but it's like, you are my opponent, not my enemy.
Right. Right.
You're my opponent, not my enemy. We can fight and compete now, but afterwards we can have a drink and say, yeah, that was some stuff you did there today, bro. I respect that. And I want more of that. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
trying to exist in that space and where I work.
Yeah, and I feel like an even greater analogy is we could all be, it's like an all-star team, right?
Right,
We're all
right.
on the team. We all know we can score. We all
Yeah.
could do this. But our team has to win.
Correct.
The team is the event.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because I've seen
the flow
so
of
many.
it. Yeah,
The
yeah.
flow
I
of
know
the
where you're
event,
going. I know where
right?
you're going with this.
We've seen it, right? We've seen it. We've been in this long enough where everybody wants their thing. They're forward. They want this Instagrammable moment.
Correct.
They want to get this.
And you can't
post.
blame them too.
Can't blame it.
It's a juggling act.
I get
Because
it.
you pay me for an hour to showcase my talent to the highest level. And in my head, that translates to, hey, what I need to mash up this party, which translates to I need to get this forward and that forward for the whole hour. But it doesn't work like that. And it detracts from what you're trying to accomplish. Because one, you could burn out your patrons. Two, you could lag it for too long. If you stayed in this BPM range too long, you have to have a flow. And it's like, basketball, you have to be able to do the layup.
Yes.
If you don't do the layup, then it stops and then you have to reset every single time. So it's be able to find a team of DJs and mic men who understand, hey, you can mash up your set if you are position 2 out of 6 by playing these type of songs.
Right.
3rd out of 6, these types of songs. And we didn't go to school for this. There's no written rules to this.
No.
But it's understanding the flow. If you could get outside of your ego and of yourself and you could see the layout of the whole event, we want it to flow
Yes.
to the end, to the absolute crescendo at the end. But there's some people who feel like, and as I said, understandably so, you pay me to come mash up the effect. So I'm going to mash up whether I'm 1 out of 6 or 2 out of 6. And it's in different positions, requires different set of tools.
Yes.
And I thank my experience and failures, the understanding that every position is super important. I personally, I love an opening set. You know this.
Yeah, 100%.
I love an opening set because I like seeing it transition. Like, I was standing here looking nice and cute, all dressed and dry.
And you get
And
them
then
in
all of a sudden, shoulders start to move.
yeah.
All of a sudden, waist starts to bubble. All of a sudden, you bend your back and you're snapping your knee.
Yeah.
And then you realize, yo, I contributed. I saw it from the stand up and welcome to, yo, we ready to start moving. And a lot of people shy away from that early set. I'm like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
There's a beauty and a talent in it too.
100%.
Yeah.
So listen, when you're talking about forwards, right? What we doing with Palance? You feel we should retire Palance?
No.
You love Palance?
Listen. Why fight on Palance?
Yeah.
If you look at any sport or anything in history, right? There's a history for a reason. Palance paved the roads that we and I and younger generation of DJs and MCs and artists are walking on now. And if you don't care about history, it doesn't matter. And I get it. I'm not saying that you should care. But if Palance, if Hazy Crawford win a gold medal for Trinidad and Tobago,
Right.
and that was 100 years ago, should it matter? Yes, it does.
It does.
It does.
It
Because we have a gold medal because of him. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it has to matter. Palance broke so much barriers for us as a culture. And it doesn't matter to me if you care about it or not. I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to push it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because obviously, and you've seen it too, the discourse on social media, people want to get vexed. And I'm like, why do you have so much animosity for this one? Because the song plays, 30 seconds, 60
what did Palance
seconds?
do to you in your sleep?
What did Palance do?
Wait, Palance still a girl? So, no, imagine this, right? Imagine if somebody from Jamaica say, yo, I tired of Bob Marley music. Are you crazy?
Insane. Never happened. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So why can't we
Or in
respect-
R&B. Nobody's saying stop playing Fantasia or stop playing
Yo,
Tevin
Michael
Campbell.
Jackson was.
Yeah, like,
he
come on.
was. No, bro. That is
no.
history.
Right. But in soca, they're always fighting it. I don't get it.
I don't know. But I think as a culture, Caribbean people like to fight on people. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand why as a culture we like that. We don't. I watch other cultures big up their people in veracity in public, and we like. Okay,
Right.
okay. I'll give you an example. As Trinidadians, right? I can see myself in my previous years laughing at a man for wearing a Trini outfit from head to toe, meaning you have a Trini hat, a Trini bandana under the hat, you have a Trini shirt, a Trini flag around your neck, a Trini pants, Trini socks, and Trini shoes.
Right.
But you look at what Haitians do. And VI,
Jamaica,
they wear Jamaica, they wear their colors with so much pride, you do laugh at it.
Very true.
But you laugh at that Trini man looking like a Trini superhero. But these guys for Carnival, everything decked out to represent where they come from. I'm like, why are we so? Like, I just don't understand as a culture. Like, we fight on each other so much. We don't raise each other up on our shoulders.
Yeah, it's true.
It is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad we have spaces like this where we can connect or reconnect and build each other up, because I feel like that's what's missing. Yeah. You know, is the stories behind everything. And it sucks that I had to finally get you into the space on a day when I have an event and doors open. I gotta go. So we have to have a part 2 of this at some point, because it feels like I could talk to you for like a next hour.
Likewise,
easy.
And listen, I know this is a podcast about me, but understand, right? You have stories that you need to share. It doesn't have to be in my podcast, Jay, right?
Right.
But we're talking about how much people that you've crossed in your path and journey, and see where they've come, and moments that have catalyzed other moments in history. Right. Right? Where did the kingdom of soca come from? Right. What did it represent? You know what I'm saying? What did that show on that Sunday 20 years ago? You know what I mean? How did that impact you? Why did you start that? Those are the stories, Jay, people need to know before they don't know. Right. You understand? So just a little tip for yourself, bro. Make a space. It's a plenty of stories that I share as the soca prince.
Yeah, I appreciate that, King. Thank you for that. But this is about you. So don't try to switch it back. But I appreciate that. Because listen, King, you deserve your flowers. You're somebody that always has that energy. I remember like the first time after the pandemic seeing you in.
Yes, and I hung out for I remember.
Man. And it's like, I had tears in my eyes. It was like, you know, you just feel that emotion of seeing a brethren from so long.
What party was that? I came off the stage, I had my braids and everything. I came in the crowd and saw you.
Speaking of braids, I think you're the first man I seen MC a dance and get his hair braided, you know.
Yeah, I take it that. That was one of my most epic moments, bro. Thank you for reminding me. That was so sweet. And that wasn't even planned. It's like, I was like, yo, hi, Patrick, you want to fight? I was like, 5 minutes? I ain't eat nothing yet. So I run in the cafeteria and I see, I forget her name, from New York, Shireen. I said, hey, Shireen, what you doing? And I said, what you doing? I said, come now. And my girl come on the stage and she braid my hair while I mic. And I was like as a light-skinned brother, as a light-skinned dude, as a red man, watch me, Jim, and I lie. When my black brothers and black sisters saw me on that boat, getting my hair braided, you swear it was a prodigal son. Watch me. You watch that prodigal. I said, yeah, he a black and how we take him? Yeah, no. With the braids, with all the braids, he can keep him. But with the braids, we as a community taking that one there. We want it. It was such an interesting experience, bro. I loved it. But thanks for reminding me. That was
no
beautiful.
problem. Yeah, man. Uber, I remember that. That was like one of those. I'm like, this guy is not actually getting his hair. Just sitting on, and still doing his thing. DJ sweating in the back, and he just said, yeah. And tilt to the side. Yeah, boy. And you mash up the place, man.
Yeah, it was like, I remember that set. I was real good vibes.
Yeah, real good vibes. So this has been great vibes. I appreciate you, King.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us in the Therapy Lounge. And it's so easy to celebrate with the people with the microphone. But today, I hope we've been able to appreciate the man behind the voice and the passion that drives everything that we do. So thank you, King, for sharing your journey. You know, and just even being honest and transparent with the whole New Forex stuff. I definitely appreciate that. And thank you for spending time with us. And as always, thank all of you for tuning in. I'm looking forward to seeing this conversation continue in the comments. Connect with you on social media.
Yep. The Hypeman_PA, as in Patrick Anthony. You can find me there.
Yes.
Or you can find me in some country, some carnival very soon next to you.
That is how we doing it. So connect with him.
Right now, I'm in side quest 6 to 8 tonight.
Yes. Well, this ain't going live, so people will be like, what? Yeah. You can come to Soca or Die, all kind of thing. Yeah, we'll fix that up. But make sure you stay connected on all socials. I'm your host, Dr. J, and we will see you in the next session.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. Bless up, man.
Bless up, bro. Yeah, man.